Hi, Bob. How are you?
Oh, I'm real good. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing great. It's a joy to be here with you. I am so thankful that you let me know about this so I could come out for this special service. And
Thank you. We're glad to have you here with us.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you if you'd just share a little bit so others would be encouraged. You know, we have a lot of churches that are always looking to try to discover how do we do things in a way that God will be glorified and others will hear about His good word. So we're wearing these red shirts, and I know there's a lot going on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's a process that began probably back in May. We went ahead and we decided that we wanted to do a fall outreach to try to encourage people to come back to church after the summer
really
break.
Great.
And in particular, we wanted to reach people that weren't coming to church at all. And with that in mind, first we dealt with the nuts and bolts. What was the draw? What was it that we were trying to do? And so we decided that we wanted to introduce a sermon series that dealt with the needs of people. And we wanted to deal with things like guilt and suffering, loneliness, subjects that people were experiencing in their own lives and that we could address from God's Word, the Bible. Out of that then grew, some study, and I kept getting led back to the passages in 1 John chapter 5 that talks about being an overcomer. And so we built on that theme. And then once we decided what the theme was going to be and we built on that, we did some other things in coordination with the On Mission campaign that the denomination is doing through NAMBA. We went ahead and we trained our people in the 3 circles and how to use that conversation starter to talk with people about their brokenness and about how God has a design for their lives, and that we try through our brokenness to go ahead and address it, but we're not able to. And the only thing that can address that is the gospel. And then from there, we wanted to equip our people to be able to use the tool in a meaningful way. And so we created invitation cards. Just a simple business-sized invitation card that invites people to come to church. And these have been placed in the bulletins for the last couple of weeks. Our leadership has been using them for over a month. And we tried it with the leadership first and then began to distribute it to all the people. And each week in the bulletin there's one card, and we ask people to invite one other person to come to church during the course of that week. The church built off of that theme. We also did postcards, and in the postcards we explained that we were having this emphasis on being an overcomer, and it was an 8-week series that addressed these different challenges. And then we sent those out to everybody that had visited the church in the last 3 years. We sent it to all the previous church members, people that had for one reason or another left the church but weren't here anymore. And then we gave them out to our congregation 3 weeks ago. They each got one so they could reach out to somebody in their circle of influence that would be interested in coming. And we had a pretty good response to that. I was pretty pleased.
Yeah, I was pleased too. I saw that. And so you've trained them how to share their faith. You've given them a little tool, a card, to be able to share and invite people. And then you've had a place here where they could come and hear a message and be equipped in God's Word. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the card works nice because, of course, it has our church information, on the card. But on the back, it also has the website information, and it takes them to the website. And all of my sermons are on the website, available for people to go listen to. It has the PowerPoint that we used this morning in the service, along with the notes that were in the bulletin. So somebody could actually print out the notes, follow along as they listen to the sermon, and go through the PowerPoint too. And it works. That's and it has resources. We point them to the Baptist Resource Network. We point them to the Mission Board's website that has stuff on apologetics. We also have some other references like the Institution for Creation Research and things like that. And so they can get answers to questions that they have without ever coming through the doors of the church.
Yeah.
We want them to come through the doors of the church, But a lot of times people have to have a reason to come. They're just not going to come because it's here. They have to have a draw, and getting to know us first often can be that draw.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting, Bob. And I just want to encourage you. I am really encouraged by what you're doing. I hope that this video will encourage other pastors and churches just to let them know that all it takes is a little bit of intentionality. And that's what I'm hearing, Bob.
Yes.
You said, I'm going to equip my people. I'm going to do something that's going to enable them to invite people. I'm going to disciple them. And this is all going to help to get people started on that journey.
Very much so. They're all building blocks.
Yeah.
You just can't expect people to, because we're here and we show up and we preach, we can't just expect that people are going to come and join us.
Right.
So we want to give them something to help move that along.
Well, you're doing a good job. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate knowing you and getting a chance to work with you. And we will keep doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you very much, Don. Dave. I got Don's and Dave's.